time it is!
Thank you, everyone, for checking out the C-Squared Hour after my semi-lengthy hiatus. Who the fuck knows with me anymore? I could give you all these excuses, and I say this every fucking time. I'm not going to. I'm just going to get straight into the show. Before I get too far into this, I promised I would start the show this time with this. Check out my merch store. That's all. Yeah, all the links are everywhere you need to know. Go find it. It could only help the show, right? Like I said, I'm going to jump right into this. My longtime listeners are going to be hearing this and say, your second mic seems awful quiet this episode. Where is Chris? Interesting story. He is not necessarily in Hollywood. He's doing this all from a safe remote location. He's worried about the Hollywood elites coming out after him. So he's safely doing this little passion project of his, if you will. He is basically making charts. Here's the way he looks at it, and let me give you a little bit of background on this. We all remember the whole Me Too movement, how terrible all those accusations coming out were, and how there was no real definitive kind of end or solution or conclusion. Because as that was winding down, as we were starting to, we're gonna get some clarity on how we handle this going forward. Before that happened, Asian AIDS hits. So that shuts down everything, and that became the news story. In the meantime, there's all these people who are Me Too'd just hanging in limbo right now, and they don't know what to do. And people don't know what to do with them. So what Chris is doing, unfortunately, I have two of the goddamn worst examples on here. Anyway, he is basically trying to convince Hollywood and the music industry, and he's basically saying, hey, we can cancel these people, but let's wait till their music went to shit. Let's wait till their movies went to shit. Makes sense, right? You look at, Michael Jackson, horrible, horrible things he's accused of. I don't know if you could say they're alleged still, or if I don't know how all that works. But Chris is out there saying, hey, I understand it's bad, but let's just pretend that none of that happened until he married Lisa Marie Presley. Because that's when he really went downhill. I have a whole R. Kelly thing here, but I'm going to go away from that because R. Kelly does not have the same A, catalog, B, general acceptance in communities. Michael Jackson's still accepted. Somehow, some way. And I think the whole Michael Jackson thing is because we've known it. We knew it all along while we were dressing up like him as for Halloween. We heard these things for a long time, and now that they've come out, we know. We're not burning our copy of Bad. Like I said, there's going to be a lot more to that, but I have terrible examples. So we're just going to I'm going to leave it a theater of a mind sort of thing. I'm going to let you figure out, hey, this person got Me Too'd. This is when their career went to shit. They started we Me Too them after that date. I think it's a good cause. It's a good compromise. It's saying, hey, fuck you all. Or, fuck you people who are Me Tooing, who are doing bad shit. But for the sake of us and society, we know that these things have had a positive influence on us, so let's find a common ground, and that's what we're doing. That's what he's trying to do. I get where he's coming from. He's just trying to un-Me Too, uncancel people until after the career went to shit. Oh yeah, who else? Fucking Dustin Hoffman. They tried to cancel him. Yeah, and so that's an easy one. Yeah, Dustin Hoffman. He's fine up until that Ben Stiller movie. Jack Nicholson, go fuck yourself. You're not canceling him. De Niro, okay, cancel him. Everything between, we'll say, shit. De Niro has done some stinkers lately, huh? But I don't even think they were trying to cancel him, were they? I'm lost with it all. But what he's saying, and I somewhat agree, is for the sake of our entertainment value and I would say the rationale and mental health. Mental health, that's a big thing nowadays. Let's keep the good shit. Separate the art from the artist, and even if you can't do that all the way, separate the shitty art from the artist and keep the good stuff. Once again, not doing it for himself, not doing it for that specific person. No, it is for us. It is so we can still enjoy stuff that made us happy while still being able to say, fuck you. Like Ellen DeGeneres, there's a lot of people who don't like her morning show who were big fans of her old stand-up. I can't find any. If I think of somebody, I will do that. But why can't they, now that she's come out to be a complete raging cunt and looking down on people and treating her employees like shit, why can't that person say, yeah, fuck her morning show, but I'm still going to watch her stand-up? She didn't treat her stand-up employees like cunts, from what I know. I digress. Well, that's where Chris is. If you're wondering where the other Chris is, he's doing us a service for not only our entertainment dollar, but really our way of life, I would call it. I get it. I'm kind of on board. Obviously, I have a few things that I have to go to on every episode. I tried starting these dumb, like, oh, I'm going to say, what did I see in the news that... None of that shit. But what I will have to say, because this has not come to a head yet, and it needs to. Randy, I'm here. You're there. Let's lace them up, buddy. I'm still waiting. We have to, right? How long do I have to sit here twiddling my thumbs, waiting till I can start working out before you finally agree to get your ass kicked? Let's not fool ourselves. We know that's exactly what's going to happen. Randy, for charity, at least $7 will go to charity. I know that much. I don't know how much it costs to put on these things. For charity, step in the squared circle with me and let's give the people what they want. Dude, fantasy football, our fantasy football league, one of the teams is literally I Hate Randy. So I don't know what it is. It's, who am I trying to... Nickelback's the wrong one, but it's kind of like that. You just give off that vibe. There's something that no matter how much people love you, no matter how much I love you, we kind of want to punch you in the face. I get that too. You know what? The only reason I know that is because I'm the exact person. People who love, who care about me the most, who honestly deal with me when they probably still shouldn't, they want to punch me in the face. I'm that kind of guy, and that's why I think, Randy, you and I would be a great, great boxing match, because everyone goes home happy. If by some miracle you're able to step up and finish the fight, I'm trying to figure out how to describe this, and I have to play it in my head, but there's not a whole lot of ways where I can see you winning the fight. So, but yeah, if by some miracle you're able to do that, there's going to be plenty of people who are happy to see me get my ass kicked. People are going to love it. There are plenty of people who are going to say, you know what? Finally, someone shut that guy up for the 7 seconds or whatever I'm not talking. On the reverse, when I finish you off inside the 10 rounds, we'll go 10. I won't make you go the full 12. Inside the 10 rounds, people are going to enjoy it. And I think, regardless of winner or loser, I think each one of us is going to come out more likable. Because people, for some reason, want to see us get our ass kicked. They'll see it if this happens. So, not only is it for fun, not only is it for the charities, new coffee machine or whatever the fuck they're able to get with whatever minuscule amount of money we can get them. There's a lot of benefits, and it's not just being able to beat the shit out of each other. I'm sorry, it's not just the benefit of me beating the shit out of you. So that's where we're at, Randy. I'm here, bud. Real quick, I got my topics here ready to go. I want to say you're welcome, America, for turning you on to Nick Kyrgios. What was the last Australian Open before COVID? 19? 19 sounds right. Yeah, I was trying to get people on that train then. Once again, you're welcome. The few people I hear, who don't like him, oh, that's a little much. The only difference between him and the other ones is he doesn't tone it down for majors. He doesn't tone it down for the Grand Slam events. If you watch Tennis Channel or any ATP matches, that's the tennis tour, for those people who are going to tell me why he's so much. The only difference between him and the others is he does the same shit that they do on that. When the other people are just on the Tennis Channel or they're just on they're doing the same shit. They're just that America Tiafo, that American who they're all gung ho about. I just watched a video of him no less than 2 months ago berating a chair umpire, throwing his racket in the stands. I'm sorry, hitting a ball in the stands, berating. They all fucking do it. Tennis is that sport. It's the whiny, prissy sport. It just is what it is. There's no one to tell them to go fuck themselves. So, they all do it. It's just refreshing to see a guy who's willing to do it when the spotlight's on him, and not just when he's on the outer courts. Quite frankly, first guy I've seen in that sport that could possibly move the needle to some sort of mainstreamness, as much as tennis can get. I digress, but you're welcome, America. I know I've been out of the game for a little while. I haven't just been doing this, but I've been busy playing this game I have. As you know, I'm a bit of a nut job. I'm, like I said, one slip on the ice away from hiding in the woods, searching for Bigfoot's illegitimate Ethiopian baby. I know I'm there. I know I'm a bit off. So obviously, what do you do when you're a bit off? You try to find people crazier than you. So there's a fun game. I want everyone to go out there and play. Facebook's the easiest way to do it because Facebook seems to be the most widely used for this group, if you will. Play a fun game. Look at one of your friends, so to speak. The guy who was in your English class in 10th grade who you ran into at the bar 2 weeks ago. Go through some of his comments on some of his posts. Find the weirdest one. Go look at that person's profile and try to decide, is that person stupid or crazy? You say, no, dude, this is a rabbit hole that you will need oxygen to just, it is nuts. It is great. It's tough because, here's what makes the game so tough. Stupid and crazy both use too much or lack punctuation. Both spell oddly, but you can't tell if it's just because their crazy brain is moving too fast or if they're stupid and they think that's the way to spell something. And capitalization is just awkward and in weird places all the time. So it's a fun game to play. Oh no, I said I wasn't going to go into this a lot, but you know what? The more I look at this, there are a few reasons I've been behind on this. The other reason I've been behind, fuck you, Conor. Fuck you. I, as someone who's known you since your childhood days, who still puts up with you, which from what I see, ain't a lot of people out there, who goes out of his way to see you perform in whatever chosen field you perform in that day. I ask you one favor. Tell all your stupid buddies about this. And what does he say? Nah, they listen to another one. Okay. So you don't tell them they're too busy? That's fine. Okay, whatever. You're just, you don't want to. I offer. No. I accepted your request to do a special episode the next time we were in the same zip code and have all my stuff. And I said, you know what? All you got to do is let me know if you're going to be available on that date. Well, that date happened. He didn't tell me one way or the other. So really, you missed out. All my dozens and millions of fans missed out on an episode because this fucker can't call me back. Yeah, I'm calling you out, dick cheese. What are you going to do about it? Oh, look at me. I'm 6'6". I can beat up anybody. No, you can't. I mean, yeah, you're probably at the point where you could beat up me, but whatever. You can't beat up anybody. Still, fuck you, man. I offer, and I do everything in my power. I even texted you the day before I left and said, hey, do you want me to bring my recording stuff so we can get this done? Nothing. I had a whole episode planned out for that. Then I had to go back to the drawing board, and we know me. I'm not that bright. I'm not that good at this job. So it takes a lot more to go back to a drawing board. I had a whole thing figured out, and you fucking ruined it. Once again, fuck you, Conor. Well, I guess we're just going to keep going with it. I know I do talk a lot of shit about these celebrities that just do a podcast because they're easy and they have a name so they can make an extra whatever. I think it's stupid. I don't think they should do it. Only for selfish reasons, if it makes them happy and whatever. But, just don't do it until I'm rich and famous off this. Mike Tyson, I found out, has a podcast. Watching boxing the other day. Now I'm torn, because he's a celebrity, but I think I'm going to give him the pass on the podcast thing, and this is going to be quick, because I have 3 reasons. A, fucker could kill me. Seems like a simple one enough. I'm scared of him. 2, that most recent plane video of him beating the living fuck out of the guy was awesome. Because the guy was asking for it, and no one ever... It's one of the few times where you see some guy get the shit beat out of him, and no one comes to the victim's defense, because he was being the asshole. So I've watched that probably 30 times, and it's just been awesome. And the third reason, he got all his fucking money stolen. He was just from a shitty neighborhood in Brooklyn, and this douchebag promoter stole all his money, and there's rumors that he went into prison under false pretenses. I don't know if they're true or not. All his money was fucking stolen. So, have at it, big man. You see, a lot of people can't admit how much of a hypocrite they are, and I'm willing to do that. Fuck celebrities who do podcasts unless I can find a reason where you're okay to do it. Here's something I've decided, and I want to send this out to all you women warriors and all you not real the annoyingness. The the people who are, there's being a feminist and then there's being that person. And I know if you know any of those annoyingists, I don't know how, I'm gonna think of something here. I know if you know of any of those, you've seen on their Instagram or on their Facebook the meme that says, oh, may God grant me the undeserved confidence of a white man. Honey, you know who has more undeserved confidence than anyone else? Have you ever seen a 40-year-old white woman at a lake? Holy shit. That is a level of confidence I could only dream of achieving. Muhammad Ali at his height could never be that confident. Just walking fucking sniz out, just, it is astounding what they are willing to, and they don't care. They're just walking around, fuck it, I'm at a lake. I mean, a lake is, your white trash Riviera. I get that. But yeah, it is something to be seen. Like I said, I'm sure me being a white man, I have undeserved confidence. I probably feel a sense of accomplishment that I probably shouldn't because of, my gender and race. But if you think white men are the most confident beings in America, you, my lady, are sadly mistaken. It's just astounding. And you look at the people who should have a little more confidence in that, they don't, which is fine. They probably have the rightful amount, but 40-year-old fat white women at a lake. God damn. And I'm not talking about like a lake house. I'm talking about like the public access beach. I go there from time to time. It's one of the few places you can drink outdoors and not feel like a loser. Now they shut down public parks for that, am I right? Now the homeless are taking over everywhere, and now you just look like a homeless guy if you do it in a public park. Yeah, ladies who are being warriors. God, I'm coming up with so many new phrases. I don't know how to say all this shit, but if you really want the most confidence, that's what you gotta shoot for. Fuck white men. There's a lot of shit we ain't confident about that these women have in spades. I don't care how male or how white I get, I will never have that much confidence. So, you feminists out there, you're setting your meme bar a little low. I was gonna say an old European man at a beach, at a tropical beach, but not even old European men walk around like this. Old European men don't give a fuck. Fat 40-year-old white women at a lake, they are flaunting it for everybody to see. They're walking out. So yes, old European men at a beach, close second. Since I can't think of anybody else right now, I'll put white men having more confidence than they deserve. But yeah, ladies, you gotta set your bar higher. Maybe maybe that's why the feminist movement, even from like suffrage forward, has never really gained traction the way it should. For the shit that they fight for. I mean, look at the whole fucking abortion thing. Like, there's no way that should be a thing anymore. It shouldn't be a thing. I don't know why it is. And I think I just figured out. It's clearly because you're not setting your bar high enough. You're trying to say, we need the confidence of that, when we're like, we're 4 rungs down the ladder, hon. Shoot for the stars, land on the moon sort of situation. Come on. I think that's where the issue's coming in. By God, I just may have solved something. Put away your fake handmaids, costumes, because I solved your issues for you. Well, this episode's gonna drop officially, after the NFL Week 1. Was I the only one underwhelmed by it? It just didn't seem to... I had a hard time giving a shit. In fairness to the NFL, I was also super hungover from a WWE event I went to on Saturday. Yes, I went there. Yes, I'll be talking about it soon. I will talk about the Monday night game, because that's the one I had the closest, because, the Sunday night game, yeah, because I had to rest all Sunday off my WWE hangover. I mean, you see Drew McIntyre go through a fucking table, but, yeah, the Dallas-Tampa Bay game. Don't even know if I should talk about that. But the Monday night game, Seahawks versus Broncos. Troy Aikman, first day on the ESPN airwaves, did nothing but talk about the referees, which, as a ref apologist, I have no problem with. I give refs more credit than they probably deserve, even sometimes. But I'm going to ask something, and it just popped into my head. Does anyone remember a few years ago the replacement refs? No one? Yeah, a few years ago, the NFL refs went on strike, and they brought in these replacement refs who were god-awful, and when the regular refs came back, everyone cheered, and but now we're back. We're just doing nothing but bitching about refs. Me, as a problem solver, one random week a year, one random game a year, however you want to do it, throw a crew of replacement refs back in. Find those crews that fucked up so bad during the strike. Do it in every sport, even. Find some low-level high school referees to, jump into a basketball game. Let's remind all these people what they actually fucking do. One random week a year, one random game. I know you hate that idea. I'm not a big fan of it either. But you don't know what you've got till it's gone. Fabulous Cinderella song. Even better motto for what I'm talking about right now. We need a reminder of how shitty it could be. Because that year, there was not a complaint about an NFL call all year. Because they saw what could happen. We can also, if I want to go into this, I could talk about, reviews and all that shit, but fuck that. Yeah, give us replacement refs. Just remind everybody. And if you're the Referees Association of any of these sports, you should be all about this. You should love it. Yeah, throw in some guys that aren't qualified and see how people like it. I am having a hard time finding an issue with that. Once a week, or just once a year, oh shit, this year it's week, don't tell anybody. This year it's week 10 that the replacement refs are working and not the real referees. You just come out there oh shit. Well, it's gonna be, and then just let the real referees come back, and you and you're happy to see each other once again. Once a year. It's gotta happen. And it's because of how many stupid camera angles you have and how slow motion and or you expect refs to be as good as a slow motion still frame from right on top of a ball or right on top of a foul line or an outline. Let's remind people of what unqualified refs look like. One thing I will say about the Seahawk Bronco game, it was in Seattle, and I think I did tweet this out, but there was an awful lot of orange in the stands. From every Seattle fan I've ever talked to, I'm sorry, anyone who has more jerseys than the majority of quote-unquote Seahawk fan likes to tell me that they sell out every single game, and that there is, no matter how good or bad or how they are there supporting their... Really? Because if a quarter of your stadium is in the other team's gear, may not sound like a lot, and I think it was a little more than a quarter, but it may not sound like a lot. But for a fan base that prides itself on how gung-ho and how just loyal they are, even if all those Broncos fans bought the shit on the secondary market, if you're as loyal as you say you are, there shouldn't be a secondary market. But because of Lumen, look, I'm done pretending with you fucks. The 12th bag, I am done pretending with you, okay? And I will admit it, there are fair weather fans of every team, of every sport, of every league. I get that. I'm not saying Seattle's any different. What I am saying is, if you're gonna be that loud about how great of fans you are, there better not be an orange jersey within 2 miles of that stadium. There better not be an empty seat in any game ever. Shit, even during the pandemic, you should have had people banging down the doors trying to get in. If that's how fanatical Seahawk fan is, as they tell me year after year after year, there shouldn't be that much orange in the stands. And of course, Seahawk fans, so fucking stupid. You booed the only guy, Russell Wilson on the Broncos, everyone knows that if you're listening to this. You booed the one fucking guy who ever made your franchise worth a shit. You boo the guy who made your bullshit franchise relevant, if not for 5 years, 5 years more than they've ever been before. So you're going to boo the fucking guy because he wanted out of there. You blame him? He probably has to sit around and watch, listen to all these Seahawk fans. Man, we're such big... Like, dude, I went to Wisconsin. Like, you want to see diehard football fans, go to a major college, and not the Huskies. That doesn't count. In fact, go to a USC game. Go to a University of Texas game. You want to see diehard football fans. Yeah, you boo the one guy who gave... You're the Jets without the prestige right now if it wasn't for that fucking guy. So calm down on the booing. Remember where that guy fucking... Oh, you know why you don't remember where that guy took that franchise? Because you were Saints fans before he was there. Because you were wearing Brett Favre jerseys before Russell Wilson showed up in Seattle. Dare I say, some of you were probably wearing Jerry Rice jerseys. That's going to be a good competition too this year. You have Steve Young and Troy Aikman working the same night. 2 number 8s, both who've had more concussions than probably, 10 different... God, I was on such a fucking roll there. a good competition this year. Who lasts longer without eating through a straw, Steve Young or Troy Aikman? They both goofed up their head that much, so we'll see. But then again, Steve Young has all that Illuminati Mormon money, so he's been injecting himself with baby tears or whatever he can find, most likely to. The Mormons take care of their own, and he's straight off the Mormon tree. So, Seahawk fan, that's why you're a joke. It's not because you pretend like the 90s or the 80s or the 70s didn't happen. It's not that you not even pretend. It's not like you like to think that you're the greatest of all time. You think you're a part of the team, like when they won. How many of you got a fucking Super Bowl ring when they won? No one gives a shit. In fact, if you look at it, your stadium's only because of architecture. That's the only reason you're so fucking loud. You boo the one guy. Not even a record-breaking running back, Sean Alexander. Oh, sorry. The Seahawks went to the Super Bowl in the early 2000s with a gentleman by the name of Matt Hasselbeck under center as the quarterback. And their main form of offense was a record-setting running back by the name of Sean Alexander. Sorry, had to fill in Seahawk fan. Not even a record-breaking running back can make your franchise worth a shit. But Russell Wilson did, and you booed him the next chance he got. Fuck you. I gotta be careful because I say Seattle fan, but I'm a Mariners fan, so that's why I say Seahawk fan. The 12th bag. Here's where I'm gonna run into trouble. I've been a 49ers fan since birth. I mean, not since birth, since I could talk. It'd be weird if it was since birth and those were my first jersey. I haven't gone through decades-long torture the way Seattle fan has. Specifically, Seahawks and the Mariners. The Seahawks from the time they started up until 2004. Mariners from the time they started till 95 and then now again. So maybe I'm going to have a different feeling when I watch how Seattle blows up for the Mariners. What I am hoping, however, and I brought this up a few episodes ago. If you want to go far, you need a Good Morning America fan. Whether it's the special needs classroom or it's the kid that you met at the cancer ward who you're going to give season tickets to. If you want to go deep in the playoffs anymore, the sports and the Illuminati are will not let that happen without one of those. Without one of those stories, you don't get deep in the playoffs. Speaking of the Mariners, who are still in playoff contention for the first time in 21 years, 22 years, I think 01 was the last time, once those towers fell, so did the Seattle baseball. Oh, what? Still not funny anymore? I fixed the chair. The Mariners made a big deal about adopting a shelter dog to hang out in the clubhouse and to be their team dog. Maybe, what I'm hoping is just maybe, we already established that cancer doesn't rank high enough in Canada as it does in America for, your sports fans. Like, St. Louis wins the Stanley Cup with a cancer kid, but Edmonton only gets the conference finals with a cancer kid. My thought was that it's probably because of socialized medicine, so there's not as much of a financial burden. What I am hoping, however, is shelter dog in America ranks as high as cancer kid in Canada. Because the Mariners are this year are probably supposed to limp into the playoffs, maybe win an extra game that they're not supposed to. But if this shelter dog means as much in America as Cancer Kid does in Edmonton, they got a chance to go to the finals. I mean, they're not going to the World Series with a shelter dog by all means. No, but I'm just hoping. I'm hoping shelter dog may be our ticket deeper. And once they start making the playoffs and shit, I'll see how I feel about all these other fans. And some of you real lifelong Seahawks fans, I might be able to actually commiserate with you. Oh my God, have we all gotten over it yet? The Queen of England passed away. Queen of England. Apparently she was... I don't know much about the Queen of England. I know there's the thing, The Crown on Netflix that I didn't watch because it bored me. I don't know much about the Queen. And it is always, sad when you lose a family member and all that. But hey, Prince Charles has a job now. yeah, I saw that meme too. Okay, fine, I stole it, whatever. I'm going to go on record and say something that's not going to be very popular, which is why I saved it for the end of this. Who gives a fuck? Why do we give a shit if the Queen of England died? I'll say it right now. Fuck the Queen of England. Not the person, of course. The crown, the throne, all that stupid shit. Fuck the Queen and King of England. Fuck them. 250 years ago, we signed a piece of paper that said, you know what? We don't have to give a shit about these uppity inbred fucks living in this building in the middle of a country that we're trying to leave. And now we're all gonna have fucking vigils at our fucking house in Birmingham because the Queen died? No, fuck her. We won. We don't have to care about you. Stay on your side of the pond. Oh, how dare you do that? Well, because I went to history books. The king who fucked us over in the 1700s and the 1600s, she's a direct descendant of him. So if we're all, especially the woke left, is all about blaming somebody and the right, for fuck's sakes. You blame the child for the father's sins. That is a big deal in America right now. QAnon's all over that with Hunter Biden and Joe, and why? Fuck it. Who cares? I don't care, and I'm not gonna pretend to care. We gotta sit here. No, I've been to places and I've seen British people, but I've also been to, places where, country was birthed, Philadelphia, places like that. Fuck it. We won. We won. We don't have to show that on TV anymore. The fact that we're even celebrating this, celebrate the person, stop celebrating the crown. Like, if you could somehow separate the person and the crown, by all means, go ahead. But the fact that we're doing this means we're going backwards as a country. It means what our forefathers did and what the original founders of this country did to secure us, our independence, is being spit on. Because we're celebrating. Princess Diana was one thing. Then again, if she did that when she was queen, I'd be having the same opinion. Or maybe because the queen's old, I don't know. No, but I'll say fuck Princess Diana too. Fuck her. Fuck Prince Charles. Fuck them all. Oh, look at how dude. Meghan Markle left being a princess to start a podcast. Like, let's be honest with how great that shit is. But what are we doing over here? If we're if we're Americans, if we fought so hard for our independence, and we're Canada, mourn all you want. You've been independent since like 87, 88, something like that. I don't know shit. I know it's been in my lifetime. Yeah, go ahead, mourn. Ring your 6 bells or whatever you do. I think anyone who is mourning the Queen's death in America clearly is anti-American, not patriotic, and if you go down a little bit further, probably doesn't like the troops very much. Look at all the good she did. Look at all the... Okay, awesome. She represents everything we fled. How could you... Direct descendant, douchebag. I mean, maybe not. Maybe she married it. Well, but then the whole royal family and the whole lizard people and the whole... There's that whole thing. So, I mean, she's basically just a fucking alien, according to the message boards I read. But I am very disappointed in America. In Americans. I follow and am friends with a lot of nutty people on both sides of the aisle. None of them are saying this. None of them. They will go off on Trump's socks. Whether they were made in China or whether they were the right color for that event. But not a single person is saying... And that, folks, is why that's why our country is where we are today. We used to have a united enemy. The Roaring 20s, we had, just coming home from World War I. You have the 50s that everyone loves so much. Just coming home from World War II. Korea and Vietnam, not everyone wanted those wars, and that's where it started. This was a perfect opportunity for our country to get back together and say, you know what? Fuck the monarchy. Yeah, it's sad she's dead, but who gives a fuck if she was the queen? Fuck her. Just living in an overpriced house she did nothing to get. Go fuck yourself. Well, the Kardashians are our royal family. Yeah, well, Kim fucked somebody on screen. What did you do, queen? Kim earned her family spot in the fucking... I just happen to be married to a... Oh, but now I'm all proper and don't extend your hands. Fuck you. Fuck you. You married the right guy. Get the fuck out of here. God, I did not realize how much I hate the monarchy as much as I do. Well, we talked about during Wimbledon, Wimbledon, how stupid they were about how dare he do that in front of the prince. Fuck you. The monarchy's stupid. Fuck the queen. Once again, the position of queen, not necessarily the person. The person could have been a lovely lady. Never met her. Never would have, because you know why? This queen wouldn't have looked at a peasant like me unless there was a photo op. And there's no way I am going to be a photo op. Pretty good British there, huh? You like that high-class British shit? I should probably start wrapping up. Before I go, I mentioned a few episodes ago, I have this fear. I guess fear is the word. It doesn't stop me from doing anything. It's not a fear. It's Christ. I get going off on the fucking monarchy, and now all of a sudden I can't think of words. There's always a little bit of a hesitation in me when I go to open an outhouse or a small public, restroom. Because I know since I've never I've talked about this, since I've never walked in on someone jerking off in one of those, it's gonna happen to me sometime soon. Odds are there, right? You hear about how, according to the mainstream media, I don't even know if it's the mainstream media or not. Maybe I heard this from Alex Jones, but he did it.
I don't like them putting chemicals in the water that turn the friggin' frogs gay.
Mr. Jones,
do you understand that?
Mr. Jones, it's not what we're talking about. Maybe I heard it there, but you would think by now, with how many outhouses, like on public golf courses or small bathrooms on golf courses, you would think by now, I digress. I think I'm overdue to walk in on somebody. I can't tell you if it's going to be a hobo. I can't tell you if it's going to be just some guy who just needs to release something and maybe it's an accident I walk in on him. Some guy who's hoping to get caught. I'm afraid it's going to happen to me soon. And so there's always a bit of a hesitation when I open an outhouse door. Always a bit of an hesitation when I open one of those single-use bathrooms like on a golf course. Always a bit of hesitation. I need to ask. I walked in on somebody in an outhouse the other day. No. They were just peeing and they thought it locked, but it didn't. I mean, everyone was drunk. They thought it locked, but they didn't have the door shut all the way, so it didn't lock, so it didn't show up as locked. So I opened it and he's like, oh shit, sorry. Does that count? I hope it counts. Even though it was a complete accident, both of us were embarrassed by it, so that doesn't really come with it. He was using it for its intended purpose. It just happened to be. Does that count? I don't think it does, but I've been talking to people, and some of them say it does count. So if it does count on me walking in on someone in a public bathroom jerking off, if that counts, because he did have his pipe out, he was peeing, but he was... Anyway, it wasn't on him, it was the... Please tell me that counts so I can stop worrying. I don't think it does. People are trying to tell me that counts. So, if you follow my social medias, just let me know. All you gotta do is say it counts or it doesn't count. Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, all that shit. Tell me if it counts or doesn't. Oh, by the way, I have way more fucking listeners than interact on my fucking social media accounts. So get to work, assholes. Alright, that's gonna do it for me. For this episode, I want to thank everyone for sticking with me, even through the long delays. Obviously, hit up my store on, I guess it's spring.com now. teespring.com. You can find the links everywhere on my social medias that I just talked about. I don't know really what else to say. Follow me at C2 Hour everywhere. Give me beer recommendations if you do it publicly, like on the social media. More people can hold my feet to the fire to make me, drink that. So, check out the store, hit me up on social media. I'm not going to say yada 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 because somebody... I need to stop because somebody is getting a little out there. Anyway, thank you all for checking it out, and I will see you next time.